Welcome to the Housing Authority of the City of Austin's Choice Mobility Informational Briefing. During this informational briefing, you will receive information on RAD Choice Mobility and how you may sign up if you're interested in the opportunity to receive a Housing Choice Voucher. What is RAD Choice Mobility? Housing Choice Vouchers, formerly known as Section 8. What is RAD? Protections, improvements, choices. What is Choice Mobility? RAD residents have a special opportunity to receive Housing Choice Voucher. Residents can take their housing assistance and choose a place to live in the private rental market. Who is eligible for Choice Mobility? An eligible family must be in good standing with all current rent paid, cannot be on probation or under eviction. The family must live in the same property for 2 years after the RAD conversion. Please note that the years at property before conversion do not count towards the 2 years, and if you move to another RAD property, your 2-year clock starts over. Next, I will review how you may get onto the Housing Choice Voucher waitlist for the residents of Pathways at Thurmond Heights, Rosewood, Salina, and Santa Rita. If you lived at Pathways at Thurmond Heights on November 1st, 2018, you can request to be on the voucher waiting list on Monday, November 2nd, 2020. If you moved to Pathways at Thurmond Heights after November 1st, 2018, you can request to be on the voucher waiting list 2 years after your move date. If you lived at Pathways at Rosewood or Pathways at Salina on December 1st, 2018, you can request to be on the voucher waiting list on Tuesday, December 1st, 2020. If you moved to Pathways at Rosewood or Pathways at Salina after December 1st, 2018, you can request to be on the voucher waiting list 2 years after your move-in date. If you lived at Pathways at Santa Rita on December 1st, 2018, you can request to be on the voucher waiting list on Tuesday, December 1st, 2020. If you moved to Pathways at Santa Rita after December 1st, 2018, you can request to be on that voucher waiting list 2 years after your move-in date. What are the voucher requirements? If you are selected to receive a Housing Choice Voucher, you will need to meet all the voucher requirements, to include income requirements, background checks, and RAD requirements. When can I get on the voucher waitlist? Once you reach the 2-year mark, you can request to be on the waiting list at any time. You will be reminded of this and given an opportunity to apply at every annual recertification. You are not limited to this time. How do I get on the voucher waitlist? If you're a resident at Pathways at Thurmond Heights, the following describes how you may apply to be on the Voucher Choice Mobility waitlist. For families eligible on November 1st, 2020, request and complete the application. Turn the application into your manager after November 1st, 2020. For families eligible at a later date, request an application from the office. Turn it in after your eligibility date. For everyone after your eligibility date, you will be reminded at your annual appointment. You can request the application at any time. If you're a resident at Pathways at Rosewood or Salina, the following describes how you may apply for the Choice Mobility waitlist. For families on December 1st, 2020, request and complete the application. Turn in the application to your manager after December 1st, 2020. For families eligible at a later date, request the application from the office. Turn it in after your eligibility date. For everyone after your eligibility date, you will be reminded at your annual appointment, and you can request the application at any time. If you are a resident at Pathways at Santa Rita, the following describes how you may apply to be on the Choice Mobility waitlist. For families eligible on December 1st, 2020, Request and complete the application. Turn the application into your manager after December 1st, 2020. For families eligible at a later date, request an application from the office. Turn in after your eligibility date. For everyone after your eligibility date, you'll be reminded at your annual appointment. You can request an application at any time. Next, I will describe the Choice Mobility waiting list and the selection process to receive a Housing Choice voucher. When will I get a voucher? Whenever HOUSE issues new vouchers, 1/3 of the vouchers will come from the Choice Mobility list. Names will be selected from the Choice Mobility waiting list through a random lottery. How often does HOUSE issue vouchers? Issuance of vouchers depends on funding availability. On average, vouchers are issued once a month, and issuance may begin early next year. Where can I use the voucher? In the private rental market with HOUSE's service area, Travis County. Choice Mobility vouchers and portability. Portability allows a family to take the voucher to any city or state with an HCV agency. How does the voucher work? Families search for a unit in the private rental market that is affordable per the Housing Authority. The family is responsible for application fees, security deposits, and moving expenses. Families pay between 30% and 40% of their income in rent directly to the owner. The Housing Authority will pay the remainder of the rent to the owner. How do I find the place that takes vouchers? Rental listings, apartment locating services, realtors, www.gosection8.com, any property owner who accepts an HCV voucher. How much is my voucher worth? The amount of assistance is calculated based on your household's income, deductions, and household composition. The size of your voucher issued is determined by the number of people in your household. Will I have to pay more for rent? Perhaps. Families pay between 30% and 40% of their monthly adjusted income. Utilities are paid separately and vary by unit. HCV will have a rent estimate of what you can afford and may pay when you meet with them. Does HCV have housekeeping inspections? No, but the tenant and landlord both have an obligation to maintain the unit. The unit must meet minimum health and safety standards. HCV conducts a housing quality standards inspection prior to moving in and once a year after that. After I get my voucher, can I change my mind and stay in RAD housing? Yes. If you're still living in RAD housing and decide to cancel your voucher, you can withdraw and remain in RAD housing. Be sure to communicate with your property manager and HCV staff. Navigating the voucher process. To successfully navigate the HCV process, residents will be required to do the following. Continue to meet all requirements for RAD housing, including paying the family's entire rent portion on time, leaving no debt owed to the current program, following all program rules for moving out, provide proper move-out notice. Families cannot receive rental assistance from two programs at the same time. While searching for housing, the family can remain in the current RAD unit and must continue to pay rent. Once you find a unit, the family submits moving paperwork to HCV staff. Provide HOUSE with a move-out notice for a RAD unit. HOUSE will not inspect the new unit until this is provided. The new unit must pass inspection prior to moving in. The family must be prepared to pay any move-out charges. Repayment agreement payments must be made until the balance is paid in full or risk losing voucher assistance. The family must completely move out of RAD housing before HCV can pay the new landlord. Any questions should be directed to your property manager. Thank you for listening to the RAD Choice Mobility presentation. HACA staff is here to help you. If you have any questions regarding the RAD choice mobility process, please get with your property manager. Now we have some time for questions.